I'm back in. I am officially going to be reading book 3 of the Mortal Instruments series, City of Glass. Now, I only own 2 bookmarks and I'm reading 3 books at the moment, so I'm making do. So, as I'm hoping many of you will know by now, I am currently reading the entire Mortal Instruments series, and I have vlogged my experience because they're quite a popular book series and this is the first time I have ever read them, so I wanted to vlog my first experience of it. This book is book 3. Where we left off last time was very, very dramatic. Like, I'm trying to remember everything. It was a short while ago. It was like three weeks ago, so you know, I've forgotten everything. I know book 2 ended with the big boat bit. The boat sank. I remember that. They foiled Valentine's plan again. I thought Jace was going to go to the bad side. He did not. May still happen, but he did not at that point. I came up with many a theory. Simon got turned into a vampire, guys. That I were not pleased with. Clary nearly died, quite sufficiently. Simon nearly died twice, and then Jace saved him, and they had a cute moment, and I loved them. Isabel is still the badass queen. Alec and Magnus are together, whether they admit it or not, and I am in love with them. Clary and Jace still brother and sister, still doing the incest thing. Not a big fan, but we'll see where we go with it. What else happened? Oh, the book ended with this random lady that I can't remember the name of. Why can't I remember her name? I want to call her Denise, but I know that's not her name. So, I don't remember what her name is. Let me see if it's in here. Okay, it's not on page 1. I just assumed the book would carry on. Apparently it does not. I am just going to call her Denise until I remember her name. So this random lady Denise has come up to Clary saying, I can help you wake your mother up. Because she put herself into this weird coma thing, and only one person can get her out of it. And that person is me. So, you know, go Denise. And I'm really excited to see how that goes. I came up with so many theories. Some came true, some did not. So I think some of the theories I came up with last time was that Simon was a vampire, that he'd been turned into one. Technically didn't come true because he got turned into a vampire during the book. So I'm classing that as a win, even though technically wasn't right. I said Jace would go to the bad side. He didn't, which I love and I'm happy with. Magnus and Alec together. I got it. I don't remember a lot of the other theories. I said that Clary, at the end, it ended with the Inquisitor woman questioning Jace in like such a really heated, intense battle. And she started questioning him. In such a heated and intense battle, she started questioning him about his father and things like that. So I came up with the theory of, is Jace actually Jace? Is he actually Michael Wayland's son? Because obviously it came out that Jace thought Michael Wayland was Michael Wayland, where it turns out Michael Wayland was actually Valentine in disguise, and he is Valentine's son. But I thought, is he actually Michael Wayland's son? And Valentine has just twisted him into believing that he was, like, his son. You get where I'm going with it. That got debunked. But there is some sad news, I will admit. I watched a spoiler-filled reading vlog for City of Ashes, which is book 2. And I watched it after I'd read City of Ashes. I thought, right, I've read it, don't matter, nothing's going to be spoiled for me. I get to see it. And it was pretty much a vlog like this. Except, a part of this book has been spoiled for me. I'm sad. Like, I'm happy because it was something I'd previously thought anyway. I don't want to discuss it until I get to it in the book. I'll discuss it more then. But it was something that I previously thought was the case. And then I just kind of went off it. I was like, I'm not sure. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that is enough of me yammering on. If you want to know how I found the first 2 books, go check out the vlogs. They're going to be all linked. So do that. And let's get on to reading book 3. Me and Mel are still buddy reading. We are buddy reading this. This will be the last one of the Mortal Instruments that I read before moving on to the Infernal Devices. And then I will go back to the final 3 Mortal Instruments books. So I'm excited to read this one just because I know it's going to be the last one for a while. This is going to be the last time I see Clary and Jace and Alec and Isabel and all of that. So I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm terrified. I'm reading up to what page is it? 94 today, which is chapter 5. We said we'd try and do like 100 pages a day, but the next chapter after 94 is page 118, and it just seems ridiculous because you're getting like 20 and 30 pages after the cut-off point. So we're just ending it a bit earlier today than going over tomorrow. Anyway, let's get to reading. I literally love how the first page of this book is page 14. Like, how is that possible? Also, I forgot that Simon and Clary were in a relationship, and they called the relationship off. Well, Simon did. Simon decided that he didn't want to be with Clary because I don't really remember why now. It sounds stupid. Maybe it just never worked because he's a vampire. Also, let's be real, he was always going to be the second choice compared to Jace. Yeah, incesting bastards. I'm going to carry on. Apparently page 14 is where this story begins, so I'll see. I'm just really tired. I don't feel well today. This is great. I just want to read this book so I can say, yay! I'm so happy. I know Mel just can't wait to get to the end of this book so she can read The Infernal Devices, which everyone says is a hell of a lot better. I mean, to be fair, I don't know. I'm really liking this. I don't know if you can get a hell of a lot better than this. Like, if you can, yay, but I'm happy with how it's going. Also, I think I have a cold. I don't know how that's possible, but I think I do. So I just found out Denise's name. It's Madeline. I prefer Denise, if I'm being completely honest with you. Nothing new to report. I just wanted to let you know I found out what her name was. I've also remembered now. Not really remembered. I read that when Simon and Clary broke up, she went to Jace to be like, Jace, I love you. I want to kiss you despite the fact that you're my brother. And Jace basically said, look, love, we all know what we want. I'm just going to be a brother to you because that's what we have to do. And Clary was like so heartbroken. Jace was like, I don't want to do this, but I have to. Bye. And now the drama is real. But, you know, that's life. So that happened. Just remembered that from reading this book. Stuff sad. Not really much more to say. Mayrus is still a bit of a cow. Yeah. It's good to be home. So I've read the first chapter. That was a wild ride. So Clary wants to go to... I can't remember what it's called. Is it Idris now? She wants to go to the City of Glass where the Shadowhunters are from, because this Madeline Denise woman is saying if she goes there, she'll find out how to wake her mum up. Jace is not too happy with this, so Jace has kind of concocted a sneaky little plan to get Clary to not go. Basically, Clary thinks she's going in the evening, they're going in the day, and then some creature thingies have just attacked. Simon's just tried to help. Simon's just been hurt, maybe dead. I don't know right now. It ended the chapter right there. But Madeline's dead. So how is Clary going to wake Jocelyn up now? Jocelyn's been asleep for a long time. She really needs to wake up. But that was a very stressful chapter, so I'm going to carry on and see how I do. And hopefully the next chapter won't be so bad. The next chapter is actually so long, I'm regretting it. It's 27 pages long, the next chapter. I'm like, really? Do you have to be? I really look ill, don't I? I'm sorry. Okay, I've just read a bit more. All is well. I mean, Denise is still dead, but she's called Madeline. I need to remember that. Poor woman, she's dead and I can't even remember her name. Madeline's still dead, but Simon's alive. But that means they took him to why can't I remember the name? It's in Idris, but it's Alicante. They took him to Alicante. Feels like a lad's weekend. But Simon's injured. He's recovering, all well and good. Him and Isabel had a bit of a moment. I'm totally still feeling them together. I would love that. I really, really would. And then Jace has come in, and them two are kind of good. I love how much they hate each other. I think they could be very, very good friends. I hope that's where this story goes. I hope Jace and Simon end up being like best friends out of this. Can't see it happening, but I would love that. Things are feeling quite tense. I am on page 45 right now, and I'm just sat here like, when do I usually start having theories? Because I feel as though I've not had a theory yet, and I want to come up with some theories as quickly as possible. Don't really have much theories. I think because I'm scared, but I think because this, from what I remember, is the end of the original trilogy, and then this is where it was supposed to end, and Cassandra Clare then just decided, nah, I'm going to write some more. This could go either of two ways. She could kill beloved characters off because it's the last installment, or supposed last installment, or she's going to give everybody a happy ending. So what am I thinking? I don't know. I would like to see at least one of them die. It'd break my heart. I don't want any of them to die. But I would like to see at least one of them die, just because I don't like the everybody survives thing. Because Mel said this earlier, and I totally agree. Cassandra Clare actually does very well when it comes to the consequences of people's actions. Mel said she really likes that about her, because Mel's had her own couple of issues about Cassandra Clare's writing style, but she said the one thing she really does like is that people do bad things and there are consequences, whereas other writers, if they do bad things, not really that much happens. And I agree. So maybe someone big is going to die, and I think it's important because I also imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, but I am definitely under the impression that this was the last book. I'm sure I've read somewhere that this was the original last book of the Mortal Instruments, and then a bit later on she decided to write more. So if that is the case, I have a feeling this is going to be the end of Valentine's saga. So I think everything with Valentine is going to end after this book. I think they could kill him. To be fair, if it carries on, maybe they could lose. That's entirely possible. But I think it's more likely that Valentine's going to end up getting killed. So that's a theory. I'm getting my theories out now. It's really hard to come up with theories because not really that much has happened right now. Madeline's dead, which is still sad. I think Jocelyn will wake up because, again, if she was planning on ending it here, she's going to have to wrap a few things up. Like, maybe not everything, because obviously there was still some material left for her to say, I want to write 3 more. But I think they need to wrap up some things now. And I think we're at the point where these big things, such as Valentine and such as Jocelyn being asleep, that's what needs to be wrapped up. So I think Jocelyn's going to wake up. I think Valentine's going to die. I think Clary and Jace will officially end up together by the end of this book. But that kind of comes into a bit of the spoiler thing that I mentioned earlier. I think Simon and Isabel could get together, which I would like. And then, obviously, Malik, life. I have read somewhere, I think, as well, that Cassandra Clare's very big on pretty much just coupling everyone up for the sake of coupling everyone up. So that's also probably a big influence on why I think people are going to get together. I would love Jocelyn and Luke together. Oh, my phone buzzed. I would just like Simon to be happy, because he is a whiny brat. A lot of people aren't a fan of Simon. I personally love him. I think he's a bit weird, a bit obsessive, you know, fair dues. He's loved the girl for a while. They're best friends. I'm on board. I can understand. But I do love him. He's just a dork and he needs love. So I'm loving Simon. I'm gonna carry on, see how we go. I'm just gonna have to carry on. I'm halfway through my chapter points now. So, well, nearly. I'm on chapter 45. If I end on 95, that means I've got 50 pages left to go. That's fine. I can do it. I'm confident I can do it. I just need to buck up. I'm currently in a reading slump, which is making this a lot harder. But I can do it. I can do it. I can. Random side note, I really think that Jace and Simon just need to have a really hot and steamy lovemaking session, because there is so much tension between them, and you'd be crazy to think it isn't sexual tension. So I'm now up to chapter 4, which, if I'm only getting up to chapter 5, I'm actually doing quite well, so I'm happy with myself. I think I have about 25 pages left, and then I have hit my daily target. Yay! Clara stupidly opened a portal to go to the Alicante place, and Luke went with her. She didn't realise that she couldn't actually get in, so basically she kind of flew there, bounced off the force field, and landed in a lake. Turns out the lake was poisoned. Clary ain't doing too well, and she has just seen her death. She's just seen her name on a tombstone with the year the book was published. I think it was 2007's death date. So she's now hallucinating and thinking, oh my god, I'm going to die this year. Which, if this book ends, or was meant to end the entire series, add in a bit of drama. Maybe she still dies, who knows? Like, the next 3 could just as easily carry on without her, really. So, I don't know. Not really much more to say. There's a character in it now called Sebastian. I don't know why, but I'm kind of getting a bit of, like, a feeling with his name. Like, because I've said I've read the first 3, or at least the first 2, and then a bit of the third one. I don't actually remember in school, but I don't remember any of these details. But reading the name Sebastian, I'm like, oh, that name's important. So maybe Sebastian comes into it more. Maybe he's got a bit more of an important character. I don't know. We'll see. No additional theories up to now. Just letting you know where I'm at. So, it is evening. I'm ready for bed. And I hit my chapters today. I went to chapter 5 or 6? 5, I think. And I got to page 95. And my chapter limit was to get to chapter 5. I wanted to get to near as page 100 as I possibly could, and that was this chapter. And I'm really enjoying it. I feel as though I'm taking a bit slow, but there is a good chance that's because I'm in a bit of a slump. I haven't been feeling well today. Loads of reasons. We'll see. So what have we learned? Clary has fallen into a lake. She basically got a portal to the Alicante place and got rebounded because she weren't allowed in, and she bounced off into a lake and she's been poisoned by it. So she started hallucinating now, and one of the hallucinations was her seeing a tombstone with her name on it, and the date of death was the date that the book is set. I think it's 2007. So that's terrifying, considering this is meant to have been the last book in the series. Are they planning on killing Clary off? Maybe so. Like, wouldn't be the first book I've read where they've killed the main character off midway through the series. Like, that is entirely possible. Plus, if they was thinking of ending it, that'd be a really good way to end it. And then they bring it back and focus on the other characters, so that'd be really interesting. Somehow I don't think that that's going to happen, but it's a good theory anyway. And what else happened? Simon's been kidnapped by the new Inquisitor, all because he wouldn't grasp on how he got turned into a vampire, because that's against the law. It's quite terrifying. Don't really know what else to say about it, but quite terrifying. Not a big fan. Simon and Alec did have a very cute moment, though, when Simon was like, look, we know Jace doesn't know that you're gay, but I see the way you look at him, it's the way I look at Clary. I thought we might have that in common. Just talk to him. And if you're not going to talk to him, then go with Magnus, because Magnus does like you. And I'm like, yeah, let's go with Magnus, go with Magnus. That's really all I can update you on right now. Really enjoying it, but I'm about to go to bed because I'm tired. And I'm going to pick up where I left off tomorrow morning and read the next 100 pages. So, good night, y'all. Just me wading in with another little theory. Hodge has been mentioned a couple of times, and I feel as though because this is meant to be the final of a trilogy and then it's going to be wrapping up, I have a feeling Hodge is going to come back in this story. So maybe we get some Hodge today. I have no idea. We'll see, won't we? But yeah, that's an additional theory. I don't know what theories I've said already. I think Valentine's story is going to come to an end. I think Valentine will die. I think one of the main characters will die. That's another theory. Don't know who, but I think that's another theory. I think Simon and Isabel will get together. That's a theory. I think Jocelyn will wake up. That's a theory. And I think Hodge is going to come back. That's a theory. So I don't know how many theories that was, but that is where I'm up to now. So many theories. Guess we'll see how many come true. It'll be interesting to see where they go with this, with the next three. You know, after the Infernal Device is like the last three city ops. Because if this is about the story of Valentine ending, like what comes next? So maybe Valentine won't die. It makes sense for that story to carry on. But if the original plan was to do these three and then that's it, it makes sense that the story would wrap up here. So I don't know. I'm predicting the Valentine story will end here, and that a new big bad will come in a bit later on. But I don't know what. Maybe the new big bad is related to the Infernal Devices, which is why you have to read them beforehand. Because I know they spoil a small couple of things for the Infernal Devices, but maybe you learn a lot about the big bad during the Infernal Devices, or maybe you know where I'm going with it. So I have no idea. I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'll check in with you when I have something important to say. Long chapters. Oh, so Clary's just broke into wherever the Lightwoods are, and she's just basically run in, and the other one, Sebastian, has just stopped her, and it's just shocked her because it says, for years she had drawn her own ongoing graphic story, the tale of a king's son who was under a curse that meant everyone he loved would die. She put everything she had into dreaming up her dark, romantic, shadowy prince, and here he was, standing in front of her. The same pale skin, the same tumbling hair, and eyes so dark. The pupil seemed to meld with the iris. The same high cheekbones and deep-set shadowed eyes, fringed with long lashes. She knew she'd never set eyes on this boy before. And yet... what's going on there? If she's never met him, but she's been dreaming of this man and drawn him in a graphic novel story, and it's him. What is it? What's going on? Does Clary have more of a power than we know? So far she's been able to draw runes, which nobody can do. And that's another theory I had. I forgot to mention it. It said that Clary is able to draw runes, which only the angels have been able to do previously. Is Clary some sort of angel? That'd be really interesting. So what's going on with it? I think there's definitely more to her than meets the eye. Is Clary some sort of angel? Because that would explain the rune thing. It'd also bring a lot more interest into this drawing this guy she's never met before. Also, what's the significance of Sebastian? Oh, it's getting interesting. So Clary and this Sebastian guy are currently riding a horse to that Ragnarfell guy's house, and Clary's talking about Jace, saying, you know, as evil as Valentine is, he did show him some sort of love It might have been very few and far between, but there was definitely some sort of love there, and Jace loves him. And this Sebastian's getting a bit like, let's see what he said. I can't believe Valentine ever showed Jace kindness or love. Valentine's a monster. And Clary's just like, well, yes, but Jace is his son, and he was just a little boy. I think Valentine did love him in his way. And then Sebastian's got very sharp and said, no, I'm afraid that's impossible. Like, you don't know the guy. I know people don't like Valentine because of who he is and what he stands for and what he's done. But that type of reaction's not a typical reaction. Does he know more than he's letting on? I'm not sure how I feel. I don't know if I trust him. Personally, I don't think I can trust him. It's all getting struggly. I'm very much... It's also the next day, if you couldn't tell. I was very ill. I did not read at all yesterday. I think I read up to halfway through chapter 6. And now I'm halfway through chapter 7 this morning. So, didn't read a lot. But yeah, I don't think I can trust the guy. So, we'll figure out what's going on. So, I stopped reading earlier when I reached chapter 8. And chapter 8 ended very, very weirdly. It ended with Sebastian kissing Clary. And Clary was like, oh yeah, I'm loving it because I'm picturing Jace because, you know, she's a creep. And then she started getting really panicky and it freaked her out and she wanted to stop and she felt really uncomfortable. And I'm like, why? What's making this happen? What is going on? So I'm really intrigued. I'm very confused. I have no idea. I'm also getting a bit creeped out by this Sebastian fella. I know I said a bit earlier, I'm not sure if I can trust him. I feel as though that's heightened now, because I feel as though he got quite vicious, I think, in the last chapter with Clary. He got very aggressive. And I just don't know what's going on, and it's making me uncomfortable. If you know out and out that you can't trust the fella, then fair enough, at least you know why, you've got a reason, it's all good. But when you don't know, it isn't nice. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to continue reading now and try and get a bit further on. I didn't read much last night, so I have a long way to go, really. I've literally got about 130 pages to keep on track. I don't think I'm going to do that because I have work this evening. I'm also still unwell, so I don't want to push myself too much into doing things. I just want to relax. But I'll keep you updated if anything interesting pops up in the next chapter. I don't know what, but Simon's currently in a prison, and he has a friend, for lack of a better word, in the jail cell next to him, and I think he is a big player. I think he is undercover. He's a big player in this. I don't know who he is. I wouldn't want... Initially, I thought, oh, Valentine in disguise. And I thought, they wouldn't have Valentine in a prison. He would not allow himself to be in a damn prison. So I don't think it's Valentine. It's probably one of Valentine's minions. I can see that. There is also another sneaky suspicion that I'm having. Another bit of a theory. But I don't realise how realistic it could be. That the person in the jail is the real Michael Wayland. Because if the thing about Jace actually not being Jonathan but actually being Michael Wayland's son, and then Michael Wayland's in that prison. But that's very unlikely because Jace was brought up by Valentine. We know this, it's been established. He was. So, Michael Wayland, it's just going to be a randomer, isn't it? So, it's not going to mean anything to Jace if it really was Michael Wayland. So, I don't really know what to think. But I know that I don't trust the guy. Oh, phone's buzzing. I think he is a nice man, I suppose, up to now. But I know something's going to happen. He's, considering we haven't seen his face because they're in different cells and we just hear him talking to Simon, he has to have quite a big play in this game. Otherwise, he wouldn't be there, or he wouldn't be there for such a significant period of time. So I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to finding out. I'm really feeling reading. What is wrong with me? I've been in a slump the last few days, and today I've just read like 90 odd pages of another book. And I'm like, yeah, just going to keep going. I don't even want to stop reading this. I'm going to stop in a bit when I get to the end of this chapter and just have a quick 5-minute break, just because I don't want to burn out again as much as I want to carry on. I want to actually be able to carry on for the long haul. So I'm going to stop for 5 minutes, have a quick break, and then keep going. And then I'll be on chapter 9. And my aim is to get to 15 by the end of the day, which sounds doable until you realise that that's like 120 pages in like 6 chapters. So it's possible. It's possible. I have work a bit later on, so I don't know if, or I really don't know if I'll get to do it, but it's possible. So I'm going to keep going, see how I do. Yeah, I will catch up with y'all a little bit later when something else important happens. So much important stuff happens. I'm sorry for bringing all of this to you. You probably sat there like, I really don't care. Oh my god, there is a secret passageway. I love a secret passageway. Where does it go? We're going to have to find out, aren't we? I wanted to take a break. Never mind, let's carry on. So I just hit part 2 of the book, and shit's gone down. So they followed the secret passageway, and found an angel, which was weird. I didn't expect that. So they found an angel. Then the angel showed Clary and Jace some flashbacks of the past of Valentine interrogating this angel and what he'd done. Basically used it. Was it an angel or was it a demon? I feel like it was an angel, but then they said demon a bit later. I don't know. They found this fella. Doesn't really matter, does it? If you've read the book, you know what part I'm on about. So they found this angel fella. Then they found out that Valentine was using the blood to turn Jace into a half demon and turn him evil. And I don't really know how I feel about that. I feel quite sad about that, actually, because I do like Jace. But it explains so much if that is the case. But I just don't know. I'm a bit confused. And then pretty much immediately, the angel gets set free, kills himself, because you do. And then the house blew up. They lost the steel, so they had to walk back. And now Alicante's burning. So does that mean Valentine's now attacked? We're getting to part 2, so now we have to watch and carry on and find out what's happening. That made no sense, but it just goes to show how much of a mess I am right now. I don't know how to feel. I still feel quite poorly. So my head's just a bit everywhere. Oh my god, shenanigans are going down right now. The city is being attacked. Isabel is seeing it firsthand. I hope they all make it out alive, because if not, I am going to scream. I know I said I feel as though one of them needed to die, and that the likelihood is one of them is going to die. But I love Isabel. I love Alec. I love... Who else is even there? Jason and Clary aren't there right now. Max needs to be okay. I thought Aileen had died. That was very stressful. I'm glad she's okay, though. I didn't really care either way, if I'm going to be honest with you. Sebastian, don't really care about him. Is that his name? I keep forgetting now. My life is just so confusing. But he needs to go. I don't really trust him. Simon! Oh, no, Simon's stuck in prison. I hope he's okay. I'm going to have to find out. Sebastian! He's just attacked Isabel. He's got Max. I realised that didn't make sense. I'm hurt by this. I loved Isabel from the very first book, but I am really, really loving her. She is my favourite character in this entire thing, even more than Bane. Isabel is absolutely my favourite character. I swear to God, she better make it out of this alive. I will be mad. I'll be especially mad because the next book, City of Fallen Angels, has her on the cover, so she better survive, otherwise I will be flipping my lid. I just don't know, guys. Magnus has just said he loved Alec, and Alec was very surprised, and they've just made a deal. If they survive, shit. The deal was, if they survive, Alec will introduce Magnus to his parents. and his entire family, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, that is what we need. And now I'm scared one of them's gonna die. I swear to god, no one better die. Okay, I'm taking a break because it's what I need. I know I've literally just started up again, but I'm taking a break. And I'm gonna have some food and watch TV, and then I'll get back to it. I'm gonna try and get basically to 250 tonight, I think. If I can get further, great, but if I try and get to 250 and then call it quits for this evening, then I'll be happy, because I don't even think I'd get that far, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh my god.
So, yay.
So Samuel, the prisoner who was with Simon in the prison, oh my, is Hodge. Hodge. I knew Hodge was going to come back. I said I had a theory he was coming back. But I also said I didn't know if I could trust Samuel. He seemed like it was obviously someone we was going to know before because he was kind of hidden. I said maybe a Valentine minion. Hodge did work for Valentine-ish in the first book. Where does this leave us? Wow. Wow. Now, oddly enough, that I didn't see coming. This book is very action-packed right now. Like, I'm just over halfway, I assume. I'm on page 252. So, yeah, just over halfway. Literally just. And already so much has happened. Like, the first two books, you spent a lot of time kind of like world building, just getting used to the people, doing a bit of character building, learning a bit of the story. And then a lot of the action came right at the very end. Whereas with this book, it's pretty much action all the way through, which I kind of get because it's the end of this kind of like first trilogy. But wow, I am shooketh. I'm also really sad because I've cracked the spine. I made it. Oh, can you see the crack? Let me see. I mean, to be fair, you can't really see it, so that's not too bad. But I know it's there. And I made it through the first two books without cracking the spine. So I'm a little bit saddened by that. I just can't get over the fact that that is Hodge. I'm going to have to keep reading now because I need to know what happens.
So y'all will remember that last time I said that I had a theory that Jace was actually Michael Whalen's son and not Jonathan Valentine's son, Clary's brother. And now we've seen Hodge, and Hodge is saying that the night before Jace arrived at the Institute, he received a letter from Valentine saying the boy is my son, and that's all it said. And Hodge said, I had no idea whether to believe him. I thought I'd know just looking at you. But there was nothing to make me sure. And I think that is very much a throwaway line, but I think that can be so crucial right now. On the line of, is Jace not Jonathan? Is he? Because he was saying there was nothing that gave away that he was Valentine's son, definitely. Maybe he's not. So Hodge has been stabbed. I predicted earlier that he was going to die. I predicted that he was going to come back because it was the third installment, and I was right. It still surprised me when he come back, even though I predicted it. And now he's been stabbed, and I have a prediction that I had a prediction that he's going to die, and it looks like I might be right. He might not die yet. I don't know. He's literally been stabbed 2 seconds ago, but we'll see. I'm already angry. Sebastian's just attacked them and killed Hodge. I knew Sebastian was a bastard. And they've just gone back to the Accords. And he's killed Max. I think, like, I just had to stop reading. Max is Alec and Isabel's little brother. Like, he's a child. He was such a lovely child, and he's just killed it. He's just killed a child. I don't know how to feel. I honestly am on the verge of tears, and I'm angry.
I knew when I started this book, I said there was a good chance characters were going to die because this was meant to be the final installment. I just didn't expect it to be him. Max wasn't really a main character either, and I swear to God, if one of the main ones dies, I'm going to break. I already feel like breaking. I'm mad. I'm angry.
Oh my god, so I've just finished part 2 of the book. Jocelyn is awake. I knew she was going to wake up in this book. I knew it, but she is. And we haven't really seen any sort of relationship between her and Clara since the first book because of what happened. So I'm so excited to carry on reading now and see what happens next. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Simon and Clary are having a really beautiful moment up on the hill, and it was so cute. I wish it worked out for them too. They were adorable. I mean, Clary and Jace have the big passion and all that, but Simon and Clary are just the cutesy. I need a bit of cutesy in my life. I don't need passion. I need cute, and it's precious. And I love Simon. I've always loved Simon. He's a bit of a dork. He's sometimes a bit annoying, but he's one of those annoying dorks that you've got to love because he's just perfect. And he loves her so much, and it makes me so sad. I want him to be happy. He is literally the only person I care about enough to be in a good relationship. And Isabel. I like Isabel. Alec and Bane are going to be together, so I don't need to worry about them. But I do want Simon to be happy. I think Isabella terrify him. I don't know if they're a good match, but kind of like it.
Okay, I'm on the home stretch. I am on, well, I have about 140 pages left, but I am finishing this book today, if it kills me, because I have to, because I said I would finish it by Tuesday at 9 a.m, which means I have to finish it now. Yay! I'm ready. I'm psyched. I'm like, ooh. I have like 5 chapters left and 140 pages, but I'm ready. I'm so excited.
Clary let out a breath she hadn't realised she'd been holding. Cassandra Clare really is the master of them. I'm sure this is like the 5th one since City of Bones.
We have just discovered that whilst Jocelyn was pregnant with Clary, Valentine didn't know. He gave her some angel blood that he'd made into power because he knew that the powers of the angel blood would give a feeling of euphoria, and he thought if he gave that to Jocelyn, Jocelyn would become happy because after giving birth to Jonathan, she'd gone into a big depression because she knew what Valentine had done to him, and she'd gone into a big depression over that because she couldn't connect to him. So he gave her this angel blood to try and cheer her up and bring about these forced euphoric feelings, unknowingly giving it to Clary as well, which is why she now has powers of an angel, such as creating runes, which I get, and I am on board with that. That is so creative and interesting. Like, I know a lot of people really do not like Cassandra Clare. A lot of people say these books are trash. I absolutely love them. I love how it's written. I think it's just so smart and clever. Like, literally the idea of that happening, him giving the angel blood to Jocelyn, unknowingly giving it to Clary, which explains everything as to why Clary is now so powerful when it comes to creating runes and things like that. That is so creative and so interesting and so cleverly written, and I'm amazed and I'm so happy. So I feel like that's problem solved. I'm pleased with everything. Not long to go. I'm really excited to find out what happens, but I'm also really scared.
And there it is. Jace is not Jonathan. I knew it. I guessed it in the last video, and then I found out before I read the book, and it ruined my life. Even though I knew, but I'm so glad. I'm just like, I'm not glad, but I'm like, yes, I got it right. But it's still very smart. Like the fact that it's not just a random kid. Like Celine, who is married to Stephen, who used to be married to Amethyst, who is Luke's sister, she was pregnant when she died,
and 8 months pregnant. So Valentine cut the baby out of her. That's a little bit excessive, but he cut the baby out of her, fled, and began living his life as Michael Wayland, and raised Jace as Michael Wayland's son. Ooh, the truth is out.
Jonathan / Sebastian is dead. And then Jace just collapsed, and I think it looks like Jace is dying, but I don't think he's going to die. I think that's just a bit too typical. They're going to do the scare, and then he's going to be alive, and then they'll have the big reunion. That is going to be precious, I will admit. I just hope no one else dies, because I'm happy with no one else dying. They're about to go to war, so I think people will. I think the Lightwood clan, the parents included, are all safe now because they've lost Max. And I don't think Cassandra Clare would kill more than one off. But at the same time, I'm sad Max died, but I'm glad one of them died. Because it was kind of like, if an entire family makes it out of this war alive, it's a bit unrealistic. I just don't know how I feel. I'm currently on page 430, and there are 496, so I have 66 pages left. So I'm so close to the end. I feel as though I've not updated you much today. I've just been so into what I've been reading, so it's just been so easy to switch off and forget. But I'm finishing it today, which I'm really excited for. I'm just flabbergasted. I think this one has been the most action-packed. I don't know if I've liked it the most. Like, I definitely have really enjoyed it, but I think I've put it down a bit too easy.
So Jace is dead. Valentine is about to raise the angel and destroy the Shadow Hunters. But I have a theory. I have a theory that Clary is going to set herself free from the trap Valentine's put her in. She's going to kill Valentine, raise the angel, and ask for her favour, because whoever ranges the angel gets one favour, and her favour will be to bring Jace back from the dead. That's my prediction, and it's probably going to come within the next 2 pages, so I wanted to just film this prediction now, because I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm predicting that's how it's going to go. And I think
So Clary didn't kill Valentine then. The angel did. But I was still right. She still got the wish. She still got to make that request from the angel, and she requested Jace back to life, which is precious. And I was correct, so I'm classing that as a win. She might not have killed Valentine, but Valentine is dead. So I think that should class as a win. I don't care what you guys say. It classes as a win. I've just got the epilogue now. That's it, the epilogue, and then this book is done. I feel like it's taken me so long. I never thought I would see the end of this book, and now it's here. And I'm actually really scared to finish it, because I don't know if I've told you guys in this vlog at some point in my life. I've been vlogging for 3 weeks, I have no idea. But me and Mel have been reading City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass. And then after that, we're going to take a break. We're going to stop reading the Mortal Instruments. We are going to read the Infernal Devices. And then after we've read those 3, we're going to go back to the final 3 of the Mortal Instruments. So this is going to be the last time I see Clary and Jace and Alec and Isabel and Simon and all those characters for a while, and I'm really scared to finish. I don't want to read this epilogue, because I don't want to finish it and lose these characters, because I know a lot of people don't like the book series, but I really love it, and I love the characters. And I'm scared. But I'm going to have to do it. I'm ready. Just one final chapter, and we're done, and we can move on. I'll let you know how I find it when I finish.
Jace is learning things about his dad, and it's making me so emotional. All he wants is a family, and for someone to love him, and for him to think he's not a monster. And it's just proven to him that he's not a monster, and he can be loved, and everyone can love him. I love this book. I'm so sad. I'm really emotional.
I feel lost. I mean, I know I'm going to be reading the next books and the Infernal Devices and things like that, but the fact that I won't be seeing Clary and Jace and Isabel and Simon and all these people, I miss everyone already. I really am sad that I've finished. I've really enjoyed the book. I thought it was great. Obviously, 5-star. Great read. I think I did struggle. I think this is the closest. No, I don't think it was.
I've debated whether I thought this was worthy of a 4-star, and I thought, because what is wrong with my hair? I really hate lockdown hair. I really thought, because it's taken me so long to read it, perhaps I didn't enjoy it as much as I'm convincing myself. Perhaps I'm giving myself a bias because I've loved the first two. Maybe I should just give it a 5-star just to keep with tradition. And I honestly don't think it's that. I think I really struggled to read this because at the start of the month I was in a huge reading slump. It was awful. I didn't want to read. I refused to read. Point blank. I was like, no, I'm not in the mood. Every time I picked something up, I was in a mood of DNF. I've DNF'd 3 books this month. It should really just go to prove how much I'm not in the reading space. Well, one, I wasn't. And then, as I kind of built myself back up and I was starting ready to read, I read quite a bit. And then Galliothon started, so I again had to take a week's break. So it got off to a rough start because of my own feelings, because of my own slump, because of the Galliothon. And I read, I say it probably wasn't that much, it was about 5 chapters. But yeah, I read a good chunk of the book, like, since yesterday. Like, I binged it today to get it done because I was ready to read it, I was ready to finish. So I did enjoy it, and I know I did. And because I enjoyed the story, I felt it was the most action-packed of the story. I've cried quite a lot of times in this story. I cried when Max died. I cried at the end when it was so beautiful. I've come up with so many good theories. I can't even remember them now, and I'm so annoyed. And because I started it so long ago, I don't remember a lot of the theories. I know I predicted Jocelyn waking up, which was correct. I know I predicted in the last video that Clary and Jace weren't brother and sister, but I thought Jace was going to be Jace. What's he called? The Wayland son, the real one. And that's not true. But they are brother and sister, so that's interesting. And I'm glad I got that right. I predicted someone was going to die, but I won't give myself that one because it wasn't any of the main cluster. Max was very much out of there. I predicted Valentine's story would end. I know I did that. I don't even know what else I predicted. Probably predicted something about Alec and Bane. But yeah, I'm just so happy with how it went. I love this story. I think had it been left as this, that would have been a fantastic trilogy. But I'm glad that it didn't, because I do think there is more to come. There is definitely so much more story to be told. I'm hoping in the next 3 books we'll get more story from, like, the Lightwoods. I'm really interested in Alec and Isabel more. I want more of their story. I'm not really too fussed much more about Simon's story. I do like it. But I am really interested to see how this whole new dynamic changing of the Downworlders and Shadowhunters coming together now. I want to see how that changes their relationships, how that changes everything between, like, the vampire, werewolf, fairy, warlock. I want to know how all of their relationships change with the Nephilims. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm so glad I've read this book, and I'm so sad to be finishing. But that is it. I think I don't really have anything else to say. I loved it. I thought it was great. The characters are fantastic as usual. The writing was great. It was just very clever. I get overly descriptive, I don't know. But it was really good, and I had so much fun reading it, and I'm sad that it's over. I actually have a book hangover, and I can still continue the series. I don't know why this hangover is happening when I'm allowed to continue, but we should be doing a video on Mel's channel soon, very soon, so make sure you check it out. I will link Mel's channel in the description, but we should be doing a video soon of our experiences of reading the first 3, because our experiences were wildly different. I fell madly in love with this series. I think it is amazing. I can't wait. Mel, on the other hand, enjoyed them well enough, but she does take issue with it. Mainly the writing style, and, I get it. I understand. But she doesn't like the series as much. I'm enamored with it. So It's going to be an interesting discussion about high points, low points, what we loved, what we didn't like. So if you've read The Mortal Instruments and you're actually really interested, please make sure to check out that. I will leave the link to Mel's channel in the description, so make sure you go and subscribe to her and view hers. And yeah, goodbye guys. Until next time. I'm going to be vlogging my experience, actually, before I forget to tell you. I will be vlogging my experience of reading The Infernal Devices 2. So this is not finished. This is going to continue. The entire series of videos, this series of videos, is reading the Shadowhunter Chronicles for the first time. That does not end with the Mortal Instruments. It goes on with the Infernal Devices. It goes on with the... Crap, what's the other one's called? The Infernal Devices. The Dark Artifices. Artifices. The Dark Artifices, I'm calling it. Then like stuff like the Bane Chronicles, Shadowhunter Codex. It's going to go through the entire series. And... yeah, I'm going to be vlogging my entire experience. So this isn't over. This will continue. It's just going to be the next series now before we go back. And I don't know how I feel. Everyone says they're a lot better, which I don't know how to take that. Everyone says the Infernal Devices are a lot better. But a lot of the people that say they're a lot better are the ones that don't like this. So I'm quite scared that because I love this so much, I'm not going to like the Infernal Devices. I hope I'm wrong. I guess you will have to tune in next time to find out. Alright, well thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you have not watched my reading of all of these, please make sure you do. And yeah, I will see you next time.